Hello, glad to see you watching my video. I've been making illustrations for a bunch of years, and during this time I gained many people who loved what I drew. Like people who motivate me are probably here watching this and just wanted to thank you. That's amazing. That you've been with me for so long. You can notice I'm doodling stuff on screen. This is a fan art of my edgy MLP OC and Pinkie Pie in Pinkie Mana version. It had been stuck on my drive waiting for a decade. Yeah, this is an artwork from 2016 and we've got 2026. Yeah, can believe it too. Today I want to refresh my 10-year-old drawing, to, reconsider my workshop, compare it to my current level and show you that art is not being gifted, it's more like hours and hours of making bad doodles before you make the good one. The one you look at and say, okay, I like it. This is not only a hard work, also a fun adventure that many people wish to skip by modern features like AI generators or by complaining, and they forgot their passion. But we'll all agree that art is painful when you draw on wrong layer and don't notice. Besides few minor things, it is fun. After a couple of minutes, base is red. The base is this blue. I'm starting with my OC named Tropa, cause this is basically Teen Me as a pony, with features. If you are into Gen 4 fandom, you surely know Cupcake's fanfiction, and I'm gonna remember what Pinkie Pie doing both things with other characters. So yeah, my OC originally was some kind of creepypasta freak possessed by a freaky spiritual being, and look at this from now, it seems cringy to mention. Yep. These days I was really productive and creative, but my workshop wasn't polished. Now I believe my idea tree is growing slow, but its fruits taste better. By the way, this is the first time when actually I reveal my voice on video like that. I'm not good at talking, especially that English isn't my native language, and because I'm not a talky type of person, definitely prefer doing than speaking. Despite this, in the year 2026, encouraged by my friends who also stream, I decided to come back to making videos and lives. I'm going to put a little more effort in showing you my drawing process because I think my followers would appreciate it. Also, I'd like to stream my fave games sometimes. I really like cozy games and strategies, so yeah, that may be fun. Your follow and comment will be helpful. Now I'm focusing on Pinkie Mana after spending a couple of minutes to fix proportions of the girls and make them looking more dangerous and put some silent craziness in their eyes. Also, let's crop this a little bit, and here we go. The line art process definitely takes more time, so after lowering the opacity of the sketch tool, I draw clean lines on a new layer. This is what I do in almost every project. I like to keep as few layers as possible cause I use paint bucket tool for coloring. I don't see the reason why I should color my picture by hand under the line art when the effect I want to get can be get this way. This fastens my work, but we have to keep in mind that paint bucket tool has its limits, and if you draw with anti-aliasing, paint won't cover on edges. This is a mistake I see in my students' artworks and can be associated with bad Microsoft Paint artists. In this case, I ask them to undercolor the picture with line color, like black, to mark usually white holes. Usually, I don't check anti-aliasing, keeping my lines pixelated. This will work if your canvas is big enough, otherwise your lines will look torn and rugged. We don't want this for our girls, that's obvious. What do you think so far? They seem to get the right shapes and soon they'll be ready for colors. For that, let's focus on lines, because this is a crucial part of the image overall. This is where I decide of contour weight, dynamics and putting the first marks of shadow points. In other words, I love closing thinner lines inside by bold lines outside and leave black stains in places that are supposed to be the darkest, like under chin or in belly button, etc. By the way, the whole process is on 10x speed, so it takes much more real time, and this is the type of constant dance of pen and eraser. Before I make a good line, 10 bad ones were erased. This is natural and brutal at once. That's the process. Actually, this image took an hour to finish. For detailed ones, much more time. Another feature I like to implement in my illustrations is shape framing. I enjoy closing drawn objects into frames to keep them organized and clear. Maybe this is why I'm keen on comic drawing. Who knows? In my artworks, characters stick out of frames very often. This makes them more living and blurs the line between spectators and shown picture. Do you remember the old version? The shading is poor and flat, and I don't mean they busts. I want to fix this mistake and use overlaying in shading process. My favorite type of shading is cell shading. They're fast, look effective, and they're perfect for comic, animation and posters. All three species I tamed. So don't worry if you can brush painting and didn't master smooth shadows. I did not, and somehow I don't stir so far. Coming back to shading, something's off with the old version. They look like sculpted. Like I took them right from Microsoft Paint and overused smooth airbrush I had just discovered. True story, not gonna lie. Sculpting with airbrush on pixelated sketch would make me an artist. Right, too bad, because if I didn't draw this in 2016, future me wouldn't progress. All my old drawings prove I was learning all the time and wasn't be afraid to make cringe art. I recommend not throwing out your old artworks, because they may become your future inspiration when your skills are on another level. Learn to look at your bad drawings without embarrassment. Alright, the new version makes me feel I did good job with making them seductive chicks. But what about changing Pink Amena's shirt a little bit? She will represent the naughty one. My OC not, she's more boyish here. Let's do the contrast. There are two ways of cell shading. Which one do you use? The first one is looking for shadow colors by yourself, depending on color theory. The second one is using layer properties. That's easier. I mix both methods, because why not? My shadow are bluish, so I can use blue-purple as a shadow of light blue skin of my OC. Alternatively, throw light blue stains on multiply layer that will turn darker blue. Same rule for hair, clothes, and everything you wish to shade. You can notice an overlay layer above all that spices up the picture with warmer hues. It's just subtle and does its job well. I think I finished the drawing with some bloody pattern and another overlay, maybe some noise texture and chroma aberration I'm addicted to. Now I must ask you an important question.
Do you like me? Do you like my WIP video? Be nice, please.
And seriously, you can comment or leave me a DM if you've got any suggestion for another video. I'm sure you've got a lot of great ideas. I also own the Quatchers server on Discord. Let me know if you wanna join. And there are the last touches. The refreshed artwork from 2016 is coming. I'm gonna post it somewhere. I think this video is heading to the finale. I'd like to thank you again for your attention and that you ignored my bad accent. I hope you'll hear me again soon in another video or live stream. Check my pretty fresh Twitch channel and the rest of my socials in bio. I'd be happy, hippie hooray, if you like and subscribe as well. So far, friends.